Alright guys, what's going on? So we're coming back with to do the nutrition setup video that I posted on my Instagram story a couple of days ago. This video is late, I apologize. But I was waiting for actually my food to change so I could show you and talk about, the nutrition setup and how it should be, broken down, and dive into a little bit of topics that we're going to talk about today. So, without further ado, this is my meal after post-workout. I was having ground turkey and rice. I'm currently switching the rice out to pasta. So what we're doing today is 84 grams of, this is just generic bow tie pasta. 56 grams is the serving. We're doing 84 grams. And then 3/4 a serving of ragu sauce. And then 5 ounces of turkey, like I mentioned. So we're cooking this meal up. We did a little haul at GNC today. I'll show you what that looks like. Don't mind the watermelon sitting there. So with the GNC, had to get my very delicious, you guys already know, Cocoa Pebbles, Dummies, and then the Intra carbs that I've been using is actually made by Jim. It's the mandarin orange fast digesting carb dextrose. So it's actually only 20 bucks. So fairly cheap. So I had to pick that up. So waiting for this meal to cook, and then we'll come back and dive into the nutrition setup, and then I got a whole presentation for you guys. So stay tuned. Also, gotta throw in there. So little update. Food is going up, yes. But reason being is because I am now 2 weeks into a gaining phase, I should say. So 2 weeks into a gaining phase. So I'm doing carb cycling. So I'm doing, high days on lagging body part days, baseline days on, other days, and then lower days on rest days. So with that being said, today was a lagging body part day. It was chest and shoulders. So we do high carb day. So this pasta meal is only going to be in the high carb day, not in the baseline day, for probably like a week or two. Just see how that goes. And yeah, we're trying to gain some weight. So we gotta see what my weight is tomorrow morning after the high day, and that'll dictate whether or not the high day goes up again or not. So got 84 grams. Actually, let me make sure that's 84 grams. Because, yeah, 84 grams of spaghetti. It might be a lot, it might not be, but until next time, guys, we'll talk about this more in depth and about what I'm doing. So, stay tuned. Alright, how's it going, guys? So, coming to you talking about the nutrition setup. Hopefully this is good lighting. I feel like this is pretty good lighting. So, coming to you talking about the nutrition setup, we're going to go over calories, we're going to go over fats, carbs, proteins, and then we're going to summarize at the end. This isn't really too in detail with all the knowledge out there. This is kind of just my protocols, how I do something. So if you don't agree with something on the slides, comment down below, let me know. Comment on Instagram, comment wherever. But anyway, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into the PowerPoint here. So nutrition setup breakdown is what we're talking about in today's video. So calories first. So what is a calorie? A calorie is basically a unit of energy. So you need calories in order to function, in order to brush your hair in the morning, in order to get up and brush your teeth, take a shower, go to the gym. You need energy. So this energy source comes from fuel, which is the food that we put into our body. So you cannot function without calories. It's just impossible. I don't know who would try it. It's just dumb. So how many calories should you eat, and how do you know how many to eat? So in scenarios like this, for maintaining body weight, I would take your body weight and multiply it by
12 to 15, and that should be around the number of calories you should consume to maintain your weight. So take your body weight. So I'm 200 pounds. I times that by 15. It's going to give me a lower number than if I times it by, 18 or 19. So yeah, basically just start with 15 and then drop it, or not drop it, increase it if you start to lose weight, or you want to gain some weight but you're maintaining weight. Up the number that you multiply your body weight by. So next we have carbs. Everyone thinks carbs are bad, but in reality carbs are not bad. Carbs can be your best friend. So hint the title of this slide. There's a lot of breakdown here. So the next couple slides are going to go into a lot of detail about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are one of those macronutrients that just have a lot of science behind them. A lot of people like going low carb, medium carb, high carb, extremely high carb, moderate, whatever. There's so much behind it. But one of the first things we're going to talk about are myth breakdowns of carbohydrates. So the current myths up on the screen right now are probably the ones that you see the absolute most. So carbs are bad, don't eat carbs after a certain time, pasta and bread are bad for you, and too many carbs will make me fat. Those are true, right? So glad we're on the same page. No, they're all wrong. So we're going to break down each one. I'm going to tell you why it's wrong, why I think it's wrong. Again, not that much information here, but just enough to help you debunk. At least if I heard this information, I would think it was dumb. Oh, let me go back. So myth number one, carbs are bad, they make you fat. I combine these two into one. So carbs will not make you fat, but eating in an excess amount of carbohydrates daily can make you fat for prolonged periods of time. So technically carbs are the things making you fat, but you're making you fat because you can't control how much you eat. And that's not me trying to be mean. That is just the real evidence behind it. Food is not bad for you. You were bad for you. So if you don't have the adherence and control to only eat your meal and not binge, then that's something you need to work on. Myth number two, don't eat carbs after a certain time. So actually for the longest period of time, my highest carb meal was actually my last meal of the day. I train after 2 meals. Sometimes I feel like 2 meals of carbs isn't enough before I train. So there for a while I was doing a high carb meal before I went to sleep. I'd wake up not really hungry, still eat breakfast, still eat pre-workout, go, and I'd have a crazy session. Now if you're not a competitor, sorry my nose keeps running. If you're not a competitor, it doesn't matter what time of the day you eat your carbs, when you eat your carbs, really what carbs you are eating, as long as they're tracked and you don't go over a specific amount in a day. However, if you're a competitor, off season, pre-contest, whatever, carb timing does matter. So where the carbs are, time of the day, after, before a workout, before sleep, all that does matter. So I can go into this in a new video. This is just me explaining that having a certain number of carbs a day and just hitting that is not going to work the same for a lifestyle client and a pre-contest client. So moving on, myth number 3 is pasta and bread are bad for you. Damn, I cannot control this thing. So pasta and bread are bad for you. Pasta is a great carb source. It's very dense in carbs, very dense in calories. If you're up in the off season and you need a food that's not going to fill you up too much, but you still get a lot of calories, pasta is probably the way to go. And earlier in the video, when I started the video, you guys saw that I had some nutrition setup changes and I just added pasta. So Pasta's not bad for you. Bread, I eat a bagel every morning. It's Dave's Killer Bread. Has 12 grams of protein in it. There's plenty of bread that has, 35 calories per 2 slices. So there's a lot of bread out there that actually can be good for you and you could utilize and definitely not get fat. You just got to be smart with it. Come on, guys, get it together for real. As the slide says, I'm just repeating back I'm just regurgitating what's on the screen here. So come on, guys, get it together. So a couple of carb sources that I like to use. Rice, the myth, here's another myth in itself, white or brown, does not matter. Pasta, oats, and potatoes or sweet potatoes. I currently don't eat either, but they are a great carb source. A lot of people can bloat from them, but they are delicious and pretty good for you. So moving on, we are going on to, oh yay, talking about more carbs. So calculating the number of carbs you need. Body weight, we always start with body weight. Body weight times 2.0 to 2.3 to maintain weight. Body weight times 2.5 and above to gain weight. And body weight times 1.6 to 2.0 to lose weight. Now these numbers are all relative person to person, so they are subject to change whenever. So if you are trying to maintain weight and you multiply by 2.25 for whatever reason, that you start gaining like a pound a week, then go down to 2.2 and then down to 1.85. I don't know, slowly bring them down. Don't just drop them off immediately. Same thing goes for gaining weight. If you multiply your body weight, for me, I'm 189 pounds at the moment. So if I take 189 times 2.5 equals 472. I'm currently eating more than that, a little bit more than that right now. So at the top end of my off season, that 2.5 number probably looks more like, if I'm not lying, probably looks somewhere closer to like 4.0, because if I do times 4.0, that gives me 756 grams of carbs. And last off season, I was eating like 9. So last off season, I was like 210, eating 4.0. Yeah, about 840. So guys, yeah, you just got to keep adjusting the numbers as it goes. So these numbers will vary person to person, like I already explained and basically exemplified. It's not the end of the world. Just increase the number. So for example, if I take, I'll just show you guys real fast. Me, I'm 189 pounds. If I times that by 2, that gives me 378 grams of carbs, and that is to maintain my body weight. Will I maintain my body weight on that? Probably, actually. 2.3 would probably cause me to actually gain maybe like half a pound a week. So that 2.0 is about good for me. So moving on, we're going to start talking about a little bit more about fats, because fats are very, very overlooked in this industry. So I actually, I take it back. I'm not even going to say what I was going to say. But anyway, fats are 9 calories per 1 gram. Not all fats are created equally. Peanut butter is not the same as almond butter. 14 grams of fat from a lean cut steak is not the same as a motherfucking Big Mac. So when you look up a Big Mac on McDonald's menu and it says 14 grams of fat, but your next meal has 15 grams of fat, don't think you could just replace it, because it doesn't work the same. You're going to store it differently. So good fat sources, just like I demonstrated with the carbohydrates: egg yolk, lean steak, beef or turkey, like a red meat, almond butter, avocado, oils, and nuts. These nuts. But yeah, those are good fat sources. My camera's dying, so I'm being goofy and trying to move quick. So, without further ado, fats continued. It's about 0.35 to 0.5 times body weight to calculate fats. Articles show that consuming too much fat in the morning meals can slow your digestion for the rest of the day. So if you train after meal 2 vaguely, no fats breakfast and pre-workout, no fats post-workout, add the fats in meal 4 through 20 if you eat 20 meals a day. For me it's 6, so meals 4, 5, and 6 contain all my fats. Meal 6 actually contains my highest fat right now. So, protein. A lot of approaches follow this you don't need too much protein method. Moderate will do the trick. I don't agree with that, and we'll dive into why I don't agree with that. If you eat an abundance of protein and your body doesn't use it, what's going to happen? You're going to excrete it. It's going to come out of you in some way, shape, or form. You usually pee it out. There's a number of things you can do to get it out of the body. It comes out. Unless you're 150 pounds eating 400 grams of protein, it will excrete itself, flush it out of your system. So why would you not want more even if you don't need it? I'd rather have more and not need it and it get pushed out than to need it and not have it, and then you're shit out of luck. So that kind of breaks down what you see on the screen here. Higher protein, better satiety, better gym performance, better all just natural feeling of just feeling full. You know, feeling big in a t-shirt and shredded without a fucking t-shirt. So, protein continued. Moderate protein is body weight times 1.0 to 1.2. High protein is 1.4 to 1.6. And an example would be me at 1.1 is 207 grams of protein per day. That is low to me. 1.5 is 283 grams a day, which is relatively high to me, which is what I'm doing right now. So play with the numbers, guys, like I mentioned before. And then to summarize everything, we're gonna give you, what the fuck just happened? We're gonna give you a little example of a person. So Jeff is 200 pounds, about 19% body fat, kind of looks like me. He doesn't track any food whatsoever, eats when he's hungry. He works out 5 days a week, 5. You know, he's burning all those calories. Alright, so calories, number 1. Body weight is 200 pounds times 15 to 18. Here we're choosing 15.5. It's 3,100 calories. Fats, 200 pounds. We're choosing 0.35 or 0.45. It's 90 grams of fat. Kind of seems like a lot. I'll explain. Carbs, 200 pounds times 2.6, about 520 grams. Not really that much. Protein, moderate, 1.2 equals 240 grams. That's just moderate, and to me at least it's kind of moderate. The grams of fat in this diet are a lot higher because the protein is not high. So if I was following this diet and my carbs were at 520, my protein would probably be at 280. If my protein was at 280, I would be doing about 70 to 75 grams of fat. So, which is a little bit more comfortable for me. I don't like high fat. So without further ado, guys, that concludes this video right here. If you like this video, tune in, leave a comment, like, share, comment, subscribe, comment. I said that like 4 times. And this video will be live in a couple hours. Thanks for tuning in. It's the first time I've ever done like a PowerPoint presentation. It's kind of cool. Kind of took fucking forever. But sorry about the video being late. Until next time.